You're listening to the Coaching Cast podcast Bitesize Collection. This is a series of short episodes created from extracts from our full recordings across all 7 seasons, covering a variety of different topics which we've put together to help you tap into helpful ideas and tools quickly to enable you to thrive at work. This episode is a compilation of extracts from our full recording on managing boundaries, which we released during the COVID pandemic, but which still has points and tips that resonate today. The bite-sized episode aims to introduce you to the topic and support you to handle it for yourself in today's working environment. Stay to the end to hear the details of where and how to listen to the full episode. We hope you enjoy.
And there's a great quote, which I'm just going to read now, by a motivational speaker called Tony Gaskins. And for me, I think this sums it up really well. He says, "You teach people how to treat you by what you allow, what you stop, and what you reinforce."
I love that. We'll have to get that noted down, stick it up on a social post somewhere.
Absolutely. We'll get it on Instagram.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And I think he's got a really good point, and it summarizes for me the benefit of really just thinking about what those boundaries are for you.
I commuted for work for, in the end, it was like 9 years. And I actually really enjoyed the commute because the commute created a boundary in itself around when I was going to finish and how I was then going to switch off and wind down from working. Yeah. But it definitely gave me a more empathetic view to anyone who was commuting, but also anyone who was seeking flexible working, because I could see how I had made it work for myself.
I think, yes, I probably did create an environment where, because of the way I worked, it encouraged more flexible working. But I also think it was important for the people who were in my team as well, because of where they were at in their lives and what was important to them as well. So it was probably a combination of both of those things.
I think there are more employers, finally, I might add, understanding how critical flexible working arrangements are to parents. Not just women, men as well, because there are plenty of men out there who are the lead child carers at home, or even if they're not, there's a balance between them and their partners and they're sharing it. This isn't just about women being at home. And that actually flexible working is necessary to enable parents to do their jobs well and also look after their families, which is, what they've been doing for the last 12 months so closely from having to be at home.
I think, firstly, I would suggest that people think about what boundaries mean for them, and really try and get under the nub of what it is that they want to protect or what it is they want to change in terms of that space. So, for example, are you somebody who's saying yes to every request that comes your way? And actually that's making you feel uncomfortable. That's making you feel stressed because you're running around and feeling like you're not necessarily achieving everything. Or are you somebody who's accepting every Zoom meeting invite that's coming in? So your diary is literally just stacked one after another of Zoom or Teams meetings. So you get no break in the day to just pause, take a breath, get a coffee, have a little change of scenery, have a walk.
If you haven't got those boundaries, there's a risk that you will just get, not mistreated. That's not really what I mean. It sounds way too dramatic, but you're less likely to be able to be clear about managing expectations on what you will and won't do, because you aren't clear anyway. You don't know yourself.
And productive, I think, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I totally agree. I think you, as the first top tip, you've got to think about what your boundaries actually are and what is okay for you and what is not. So to use your point, what do you want to protect and look after, predominantly? So I think that definitely is one. And then the second part to that is it's all good and well creating those boundaries, but no good if you don't share them with anyone.
And then the other kind of thing I would say is try to just become more consciously aware and take note of situations or people who make you feel that your boundaries are becoming compromised. Is that because my boundary has become compromised, or they've made me feel a certain way? I feel like there's an expectation now that I do need to log on at 8 p.m. and reply to that email. And that's making me feel conflicted, because then you can relevantly action plan and reset in terms of whatever that looks like. But you need to have an awareness of where that's happening and why that's happening in order to address it and then subsequently manage your boundaries more effectively.
Want more of what you've been listening to? You can listen to the full episode by searching for Season 1, Episode 9, Managing Boundaries, across all major platforms including Spotify, Apple, Google and YouTube, where you can watch the full recording. You can also find all of our episodes by visiting our website www.thecoachingcast.co.uk. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to be notified of all future episodes, and you can also follow us on Instagram, where we post regular updates about the show. Finally, let us know what you think about the Coaching Cast. Email us at hello@thecoachingcast.co.uk.